It's a classic case of these cars suck after 5 years. They won't hold their value. So you might as well pass them on to little Timmy so he can get some miles out of them, because you won't get your money back if you try to sell them after 5. Let's get started. So depreciation is the difference between what you pay for the car and what you'll get for it if you try to sell it. And these have the worst resale value after 5 years. So 5 years ago, if you bought the Hyundai Accent, a subcompact, you saved money. It only cost you 16 grand to buy, but 5 years later, it's only valued at $8,000. So you lost $7,000. So the residual value, 47.6%. That's not a good deal. The Nissan Sentra's been around forever. I remember that in high school. But nowadays you see them in car rental fleets. When you bought it back 5 years ago, it was 18 grand. The value 5 years later, $9,000. So 47.5% is the residual value. Might as well just pass it on to little Timmy. He could use a nice car. The Kia Rio is one of the most economical and fuel-efficient little cars you could buy. 5 years ago, price was under 16 grand. You try to sell it 5 years later, you can only get about 8 grand for it. So again, you're losing almost $8,000. 47.1% is what the residual value will be after the fact. So might as well hang on to it or give it to little Timmy again. So how much longer will the Chevy Impala hang around? People keep buying it, but it doesn't really stand out from the crowd. 5 years ago, the cost was under 30 grand. If you sold it, you'd only get 14 for it. So you'd only get 14, but you'd lose 15. Not a good buy, but don't worry, Chevy's probably going to discontinue it anyway. When it comes to top resale values, the Honda Accord is a safe bet, but the hybrid, not so much. 5 years ago, 33 grand. After 5 years, you'd only get 15 for it, so you're going to lose over $17,000. I guess those hybrids aren't as good as they thought they were. Is that how it works? They are who we thought they were? Like the Chicago Bears? Yeah, they are who we thought they were. The Hyundai Sonata is a lot better looking today than it was 5 years ago. When you bought it 5 years ago, it was about $25,600. You're going to lose about 45%, so you can only get about 12 grand for it now, losing $13,000 if you tried to sell it. So, hey Timmy, like the Impala before, the Chevy Malibu has been around since the 1700s. 5 years ago, you could buy it for 24 grand, not bad, but you'd only get about 11,000 for it now, so you lose 12,000. That's a 44.5% residual value. Bye-bye. I do like me a Dodge Charger, but after 5 years, not so much. If you bought it 5 years ago, it'd be about 40 grand. You can get 18 for it today. That's a loss of 21 grand. I used to like the Dodge Charger. I remember reviewing the 2012 Kia Optima. It's now a Kia K5, much better name, much cooler car. 5 years ago, $25,844. You sold it now, you'd only get $11,887. So yeah, almost $14,000 down the drain. Go for a new one. The Ford Fusion. It had a good run. Had a cool name too. 5 years ago, $24,600. You sell it, you get $11,000 and change. You're going to lose 13. It's a good thing they're getting rid of cars, except for the Mustang. That's a smart move, Ford. Good call. Remember the Chrysler 300? Me either. Kind of miss it a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. 5 years ago, you get one for 35 grand, 600. Now, 16,000. Say goodbye to 20 grand. Now you see me, now you don't. The Mitsubishi Mirage was about 15 grand 5 years ago. If you sold it now, you get less than 7 grand. You're going to lose $7,000, so the residual value is 43.2. I'm guessing the Avalon is suffering just like the Accord in the hybrid category, because you're not going to get much for a hybrid Avalon if you sold it today. 5 years ago, it cost 40 grand. Today, you can get about 17 for it. Residual value is 43.2%. 22 grand. Down the old pooper. The Chevy Sonic seemed like a good idea at the time. Small car, good price, 18 grand. 5 years later, Timmy's going to be adding one to his driveway because $8,000 is what you get for it. Depreciation, $10,000. I had no idea that J-Lo and the Pope had something in common. They both used to endorse and promote the Fiat 500L. Are they regretting that decision? Who knows? But 5 years later, that vehicle could only be worth 10 grand when you bought it for 23,000 5 years ago, so you're losing almost 13. I don't think J-Lo or the Pope are worried too much about it these days. Obviously, I'm having fun with this list of the worst resale value vehicles in the market. Not everyone is buying a car with plans on selling it. Some people plan on keeping it or passing it down to Timmy, which is always a good idea. So have fun with this and think about that when you're buying a car in the future. What are your goals? Do you plan on keeping it? Do you plan on selling it? This list is just a moment in time. Things will change as we move forward. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Adios.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.
Hey, I want to let you know about a new feature on everymandriver.com. It's a car payment calculator you can use anytime when you're trying to figure out what your potential loan amount is and the monthly payment figure. So what you do is you type in the vehicle price, your down payment, trade-in figure, sales tax, interest rate, and the term of the loan. Click calculate, and then you'll figure out the loan amount and the monthly payment. It's a free tool now available on everymandriver.com.